We have a name for these kinds of crimes. Actually, this sister is very lucky that she is alive and she wasn't harmed, because usually it doesn't end this way in Botswana. Next story, the headline reads, Burning Passion. Man remanded for torching ex-girlfriend's car. A 33-year-old man remains in custody as he awaits his bail hearing after being charged with malicious damage to property for allegedly torching his ex-girlfriend's car last year. The perpetrator is accused of setting fire to a car belonging to his 34-year-old former lover after she ended their relationship. The incident occurred at the school where the victim works as a teacher. It is alleged that the victim woke up around 2 a.m. and noticed a bright light shining through her house. Upon investigating, she discovered that her car, parked outside her teacher's quarters, was engulfed in flames. Still in shock, she searched for clues near the scene and allegedly found shoe prints and a jerry can near the burnt vehicle. Police officers are said to have responded to the report and rushed to the scene. The officer on duty confirmed that officers attempted to extinguish the fire, but their efforts were unsuccessful. By the time the fire brigade arrived, the car had already been completely burned. Investigations led the police to the perpetrator's home, where he was immediately arrested. Now, I know these sorts of things happen all over the world. Today, my focus is the filth, the dirt, the stench, the rot in my country. We have a name for these kinds of crimes. Actually, this sister is very lucky that she is alive and she wasn't harmed, because usually it doesn't end this way in Botswana. We have a word for intimate partner homicides, and we call these passion killings. These have been going on for many, many years. I recall hearing these stories when I was in university, and that was in the early 2000s, and they have progressively increased and gotten worse and worse. The Botswana police reported in early January that between the dates of December 19th, 2024 and January 2nd this year, 2025, there were 10 women murdered by their partners. During the same period, there were 93 rapes. Of all reported crimes, 61% were related to gender-based violence. This is everyday news in my country, and I'm afraid that my people have become desensitized. I used to think that there was so much crime in South Africa because they had inherited it from their violent history. However, Botswana does not have a violent history at all. We haven't experienced the trauma that a lot of African countries have gone through, having civil wars, having to fight for their independence. So my speculation about South Africa having inherited this from their violent history doesn't apply to Botswana. So why are we so violent? To give you an idea of the normality and nature of these crimes, I found a 2009 study in the Journal of International Women's Studies showing characteristics of 23 intimate partner homicides, aka passion killings, that occurred between January 1st, 2003 and January 31st, 2007. Looking at the table from left to right, it profiles perpetrators by age and sex. NL in the age column means not listed. Ages range from middle-aged to as young as 21. Most perpetrators were male, except one that was a male-female duo where two disgruntled lovers teamed up to kill their partners. Victims were female, as young as 17, oldest being 29. In the relationship column, It states the nature of the relationship. BG being boyfriend girlfriend, E engaged, LT lived together, CH had a child together, L lovers, MM married. Under the crime column, it shows how the victims were murdered. Most were stabbings. Botswana has a population of 2 million. So the number of these crimes and their frequency within such a small demographic is alarming and concerning. A well known sociologist in my country speculated on some of the reasons behind these passion killings, and she says when men are told, for instance, that a relationship is over, they resort to violence because they think that their authority has been undermined. She also cites a rapid urbanization and economic growth that the country has been experiencing in the last 30 years as another possible reason. As the country flourishes, traditional structures which used to provide counseling have collapsed, and for economic reason, people have left their families in the rural areas which used to cushion them in times of crisis. Because there are no families to provide counseling, some people end up committing such crimes because there is no one to talk to. Okay, that's a place to start. We need to have these conversations on a community level. We need to heal on a community level. My name is Miss O. Thank you for watching today. Please share your thoughts and the experiences that you have in your country, what ways your country has tackled such issues, and let's keep the conversation going.